Join us every week for coaching and Q&A. You'll learn how to get more listings signed and sold following the simple and fun EZ listing method. Plus, find hidden gem tips and get motivated as you surround yourself with like-minded peers in this weekly mastermind. Let's jump in.
Give everyone a few minutes to jump on in here.
Did Robert have to leave or something? Is that why he called me? I know he called me
Yeah, he's got some calls he needs to take care of real quick.
Okay.
So it's just going to be a few minutes. So if now you're here, you can take over for a few minutes, but just one of us to kind of get it started for the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and Cynthia Los Angeles, is that Cynthia Delgado?
Correct. That would be moi.
Remembered. And Samantha Burnett. Woohoo!
Why, thank you.
Get some faces I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, turn the ringer off. And there's Miss Cat joining us. Welcome. Getting a full screen. I like it. I like it. So that's it. Is we've hit the 5-minute mark, and so what are some things that happened over the weekend that everybody wants to talk about?
Yeah, or if anyone has any questions about listings coming up, I mean, that's kind of what we're here for, is to be able to provide support and answer any questions. And if there's scenarios that you wanted to work through, this is a meeting for you all. So take it away.
Good morning. I have a question, if that's all right.
Please.
My name is Michael Graham. I sell real estate in Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been doing it for 21 years, and I've seen some auction style stuff before with somebody else that I know, and this is just great because the platform is transparent online, so it's attractive to me. But I'm new to it. I haven't done one yet. I've spoken to Robert a couple of times about a listing coming up that's on the market currently, and it's listed at 739. It's been on the market for about 40 days, no offers, and the seller is interested in doing the auction. So I kind of wanted to go through some masterminding around what price to put it at and maybe what to do with the buyer's premium. The
Sure.
seller is willing to pay a portion of it, and there's also a big seller debt on there for solar. So I want to maybe walk through that as a scenario, and Robert said to bring it up so that we could kind of mastermind around it and use it as an
Great.
example case study.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit of background on the property and how long has it been on the market? What feedback have you had? Kind of a little bit of background about that.
You got it. So it's a 4-bed, 2-bath, about 2,200 square feet. It has a pool. It's a nice house. It's pretty well remodeled as of maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It is on a major street, 20th Street and Indian School. So 20th Street's kind of more of a busy road. So that's definitely a lot deduction, if you would. And then the solar, balance is $50,000. And I know some buyers see that as a value. Most of them are going to see that kind of as a deterrent, where they have to take over a $50,000 debt. I mean, the monthly payments, I think, are $275 or something, but it does bring the electric down. So those are the only 2 things that we need to tackle, right? Well, 3 things, right? It's already been on the market. So coming on the platform after being on the market is kind of difficult. Robert said he's only had 1 successful sale that way. So I feel like we have to do a combination of price the property very aggressively, like drop it, 20% below fair market value. And then also he was talking about maybe using a portion of the buyer's premium to pay off a portion of the solar, and then have the seller pay at least my commission. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Joy, do you mind if I speak to the solar issue?
Oh, that would be great. If you have experience with that, yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. Hi, Michael. This is Ken Collins. How are you doing?
And thank you, man. I appreciate you.
And I just that is an issue. It really is. I had a deal like that out here, a couple of them. And you have to ask the owners, is it a lease or did they do conventional or credit card financing? Those
It's conventional financing and it's a low interest rate. It's like 2.9% or 2.3% interest.
second is it transferable to the new owner?
It
Because
is, yeah.
those when the solar first came out, they were not allowing transfer. The new owner would have to buy it outright. So
Oh,
those are
yeah,
the
that's
two main questions
bad.
with your solar that you have to have absolutely clear, because you'll get it. I got all the way deep into the financing 10 days before we close, and the solar company said, "Oh no, we don't transfer it. It has to be purchased by the new owner. Either
Yeah,
paid
no,
off,
it's transferable.
I'm sorry, paid off by the existing owner or purchased outright by the new buyer."
Got it. Yeah, no, it's completely transferable and it is at a low interest rate and the
Okay.
payments are fair, they're decent. So, it's not the worst solar package in the world. It's just it's not great because it is $50,000 worth of debt, right? So,
Yeah, but in Arizona, if it helps that electric bill, but they'll love it. Believe me.
yeah.
I'm
Some
up here in
will,
the
some
high
won't.
desert.
Yeah, yeah. No, we get plenty of sun, and so yeah, the solar does offset the cost and future costs, right? So, but I do think that we're going to have to do some sort of paying off of a portion at least of that debt just to make it attractive to the buyer, would be my opinion.
Excellent. No
Mhm.
problem, Michael. That I
And
can help.
this
Ken,
is
thank you.
generally speaking, but you know, and I'm not sure, I haven't followed rising costs of production, but if solar panels are something that have been rising in costs over the last few months, it could be more attractive that, I don't know when they signed up, but 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that price, that
Yeah,
might be something to consider too.
a lower rate, yeah, and it is a low rate. I mean, it's not a high rate at all. It's in the twos.
Well, low rate, and I'm not sure if the cost of production for the actual hardware for the solar is something that's increased over the years, just because of the economic landscape.
Sure, you could argue that. I have a different perception of solar. It's the salespeople that make 80% of the money on that.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
I
with
could
you.
go out and buy the hardware from the manufacturer myself and hire a laborer to install it and spend 16 grand on the same thing that this guy spent 55,000 on. So it's like,
100%.
you know, but anyway, I'm not going to tell the buyers that.
So is he locked into that? That's not something that,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
it's an issue. I mean, it's like it is locked in, it is transferring or it is getting bought, but very rarely can you get those expunged or removed. I'm working on one at a house that we did a loan assumption on in Payson, Arizona, where they kind of took advantage of the elderly people that they sold it to. So we're trying to actually do like a, a claim against that solar
Mm.
company. So I don't think we have an opportunity to do it on this house though.
Well, so do you have any paperwork like cost analysis that you can share with the buyer
Yep.
showing a pro?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
we have cost analysis and all of that. So we can paint a prettier picture for the buyer as to like what value that solar will bring. But it's just something we have to kind of keep in mind. And yeah, really, I think the conversation would be though is, how do I take this property that's been on the market at 739 that has been on the market for 40 days without an offer and now run it through the platform successfully? What do I have to price it at? And how do I tackle those two deterrents, which,
Right.
the solar and then the major street?
Yeah, yeah. They are factors for sure. It is always a lot more effective on the platform when you're starting from scratch. My suggestion would be that you at least remove it from the market for a period of time so that it,
Which I did. I took it off the
oh,
market
okay,
last week when
okay.
Robert and I talked. That was the other thing is I didn't remove it completely from the market. It's temporarily off the market. So still showing as that listing. So I mean, if I canceled it completely and then started over, it's still going to show days on market. So I don't think it's really going to make a difference if I took it temporarily off the market versus canceling it completely. What's your opinion on that?
It just depends on the marketing. So again, and how long has it been on the market?
About 40 days.
40 days. I mean, ideally, it's better if you cancel just simply because it kind of restarts everything. And then, yes, if an agent is going in, they can still do the research and see, yes, it was on the market previously.
Uh-huh.
But it's a little bit more of an uphill battle. I think if you're just going to be, you just had it as an active.
Yeah, so there we have a status called temporarily off market. And so
Oh,
you have a
okay.
listing, you take it temporarily off market, so it's not available, but it does show as temporarily off market. When you relist it, it's just going to show that I dropped the price dramatically. But
Okay.
I still
So it won't change days on market.
No, it won't change days on market, but neither would canceling the listing. That would just make more work for me to cancel it and then
Sure.
review. Because yeah, days on market don't change. You have to wait 90 days for it to actually
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
be on market.
Okay. That's a little different, I think, than our
And,
MLS
and I
is,
think
but
I think the pitch around where I'm coming from in the eyes of an agent or a new buyer is, hey, you had this listed at 739. What's going on? Now you're at 675
right.
or sorry, 575, 130 grand cheaper. And we'll say seller has to sell and they're going to sell it to the highest bidder on this platform. And that's it.
Yeah.
They're looking for the best offer, so make your offer. And that's why they dropped it to this, you know.
Yeah.
And that
I,
is the intention. They can't sell in 4 months or 3 months. They want to sell now. They want to sell in a weekend. So that's kind of the
right.
goal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, definitely if they're willing to do that again, it has to be eye catching, right? Like it's the shake the system type of drop that you're going to need to make it be effective. And that is, I agree with you. I agree with the marketing platform or the marketing idea behind that is letting them know, hey, this is similar to, of course, we don't ever want to say the word auction because it's not an auction, but you want to say again, yes, we're putting it on a new bidding platform, and this is how that platform works.
Yeah. We're putting it on a new
And
bidding
this
platform.
is our, yeah, I always encourage people to say too that this is the starting bid price. So kind of that's the whole point is like it's almost like you're at an auction and you're introducing the property, right? Like, okay, we're going to start out now, right? You see that excitement at an auction, like, hey, okay, starting bid, and this is what it is, right? So,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the whole point of pre-marketing the property. The whole point of doing a one and done open house is that it's supposed to have that kind of auction mentality and that auction atmosphere where it's
Yeah.
like, hey, everybody, like, this
It's
is
urgency.
right.
The
Urgency and
urgency
it's
really creates
yeah.
momentum.
And so that's where I would put my marketing towards, just be like alert, honestly, like alert, alert, alert. This property, we are now remarketing the property. We're putting it on this bidding platform. This is an amazing opportunity for you to get this house at a highly reduced price. You know what I mean? That kind of language where it's just like, FYI, this is a big, this is a big deal, a big attraction. Just that's exactly how they market for auctions is, obviously you have the big signs and you have all the marketing is geared toward that one day event. So that would be my suggestion too, is to really, really hype up that event. I would do a lot of marketing around that event, around the open house. So I don't know if it's in a neighborhood situation, but I would definitely I don't know if you do any door knocking, but I would do flyers, or even if you're just hand delivering flyers to the neighborhood in and around surrounding the neighborhood. You could do some Facebook marketing. I always do like a Facebook marketplace ad in
Okay.
and of itself. I do social media posts. So I do a post right when I list the house. I go out, I do a Facebook live, I do social media lives saying, hey, again, this is an amazing opportunity. Let's take a look at this house. We're going to do a tour of this house. This is going to be the open house on Saturday. It's going to be from this time to this time. You have to come check it out. Even if you want to create more excitement around the open house itself, like we're not only going to be touring this house and you're have an option to bid on this house, but we're going to be giving a giveaway or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So it's just maximum exposure and hype and excitement to get people in the door and looking. So same thing around the neighborhood.
Okay. What's the giveaway?
That
Is
yeah,
that anybody that shows up to the open house gets raffled in
yep.
and we raffle off some sort of gift? What's a typical gift and cost of a gift? Are we talking $100 gift, a $200 gift?
Again, that's up to the agent. I know Robert, and you can specifically ask Robert about this. He does something with a company. about a trip giveaway, and I don't know exactly what his dollar amount cost on that is. I think
Okay.
it's
He only
pretty,
pays the taxes,
okay.
He
so a
only
couple
pays the
$100
taxes?
bucks. Yep.
Okay. And this company that gives it away, are they like a travel agency or something?
Yes, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. It's a workshop that Robert did on hosting a one and done open house, but he goes through the process of how he does this specific type of travel sweepstakes giveaway. Obviously, the bullet points for Robert are, you know, you want to capture the information of all guests that are attending your open house, but if they want to be eligible for the raffle, they have to give you a little bit more information. Are they looking to sell? Are they looking to buy? If they are, what's their criteria? What's some information about their house? Obviously, their contact information. So it's not
Right.
just you show up and wave your hand and get entered in the raffle. It's the
Right.
you're filling out a more in-depth lead opt-in right there, whether it's on a paper form or on an iPad. But I forget, something Sky, I think the name is. I'll send it. It's a segment in this workshop where he goes through this entire sweepstakes.
Okay.
So
And I can try and go through that and get the actual, we'll get the actual information and send it out to you via email too. I'll get that from Robert, figured out. But I mean, again, if you want to, if there's something that you can purchase that you feel comfortable in that price point purchasing, whether it's, I don't know, whatever,
Yeah.
an iPad, you know, $100 Amazon gift card,
Yeah.
you know, whatever it is, again. And again, you can advertise it like you can have a couple prices. Like we'll have $100 Amazon gift card, $50 Starbucks gift card, a $20, I don't know, Target gift card. And again, people can, but that's kind of the whole point is we're giving away prizes. Like this is an event. It's an event. Like you want to come, and especially for people like in the neighborhood too, be like, hey, I mean, you want to come over. You'll just want to come over and at least see the house, kind of see what's in your neighborhood and register to win a prize. And again, it's just maximum exposure is what you're going for too.
You guys do food and beverages typically?
I do.
Music?
You can do music. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of different, I've done a lot of different types of open houses. Some take a little bit more planning involved. I've even involved like different organizations where it's like, hey, we're out here with a charitable organization. And so they sponsor it too. I mean, I think probably you may not have time to do things like that, but just FYI for other people, other ideas.
Yeah.
I've done it with like,
Maybe with time.
mhm.
No, in the $1 million plus range, I think that would be kind of cool. Like make it like how we have broker opens where it's like hors d'oeuvres and live band and like a whole to do, but around the auction
Right.
platform, I think that would be very clever.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe it'd be
speaking
a
of,
fun party and then they know that somebody's going to be buying this thing before the weekend's up. Like that's kind of cool.
Right.
I was gonna say, speaking of like the broker opens, if you do decide not to cancel it entirely, one thing you can do is still shock the system, like dramatic price reduction, but utilize those remarks. So obviously explain why you're dropping the price so significantly. And again, with a buyer broker, you've got all these agents coming in that represent multiple buyers a piece. Let them know in those remarks, capture that offer event that has an end date, say all offers, let's say you set it for Tuesday evening. Or if you want to be dramatic, give them time all week, because if it's the broker open, the buyers aren't actually seeing the house. Maybe you do the broker open on a Sunday or Monday. Let the offer event run to a Friday. This is different than what we teach agents when it's just open to the public open house. But
Gotcha.
give the buyer's agents that week to tell all of their buyer clients that, hey, there's this dramatic price reduction. And guess what? They already addressed the elephant in the room. If you think the solar's the elephant in the room, put something about that in the remarks too. They're motivated to work with the buyer XYZ, whatever the seller thinks they might be willing to do with the solar, because you're going to at least ease that concern from someone looking at that property that thinks this is going to be a headache to deal with, or it's going to be this price, but a whole $50,000 loan I have to assume and take care of this person's solar. Address those two things in the buyer remarks if you're going to keep it on market, shock the system and do a broker open. If you take it off, then I would say you could go the route that we typically teach, where it's a open house to the public, list on a Thursday, time that offer event to end on a Tuesday night, and put in that remarks, all offers must be submitted. We'll be calling the top offers that day, that night.
That's great feedback. Yeah, when I mentioned broker open, I was just making an example of how we go out of our way to make a broker open fancy, right?
Yes.
We get
Yes.
music and blah, and we're like catering to these brokers and no buyers. I'm saying combine them, right? Like have the music and the food and the open house, the big 6-hour open house event with all the brokers, with
Yep.
and market. So what other marketing pieces should I have done? You guys do a lot of signs that you put in the yard with the 0% commission. How do you guys feel about the flashing the, hey, sell your house with 0% commission? I know that gets people interested in what you're doing. Does it cheapen what we're doing at all? I've always looked at discount brokers as like, oh no, here we go again, like with the discount broker. So I don't want to be in that category. You guys have any thoughts on that?
I address that head on. Well, I say this is a unique opportunity. This is a disruption in the real estate industry in where you get a full service. And in all my marketing, it's you get a full service listing. That means I come out with professional photography. In my case, I am a certified stager. So I'm like, you get certified staging, you get a full cleaning, you get, I mean, and I list them like it's a whole, you get A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I mean, like the whole thing. And you get to choose your commission. Like, so it's not, that's how you differentiate yourself between this is just a quick and easy, like it's a discount. It's not discount. It is full service, high quality, as if you're hiring a professional real estate agent, because you are. But it's just new. It's just different. This is how we're doing it differently. It's a great transparent platform. And so again, it's kind of always putting that positive spin on everything. And then it's just that this is a new option where you as the seller get to choose the commission you get to pay.
Perfect.
Yep. And again, I think social media can be really, really good for that. That's where I found I reach a lot of just buyers individually, like through Facebook Marketplace listings and some of those social media posts. They're just like, oh wow, like that just seems interesting, or just even if I've been looking in that area. So that's what I target my Facebook to a specific geographical area. Because
Okay.
again, if I'm a buyer and I've been looking, or a lot of times, especially now, buyers are interested, but again, they're not working with an agent because they don't want to have to go through all that signing a buyer's rep. And so they're much more apt to come to open houses and events and things like that. So
Right.
yeah, just a
Where-
big open invitation for those kinds of people.
What market are you in?
I'm in Tennessee,
Okay.
the Nashville, Tennessee area.
Okay.
So yeah, I just recently closed a couple weeks ago on a listing where it was an investment property. So we went in, it was kind of a mess to begin with. So I told the seller right up front, hey, we need to have this, this, and this done. And so we were able to clean it up, get it in really good show condition. And again, then I just did a ton of marketing around it. And we ended up having, and the way I priced it, I knew like I was probably, I don't know, $10 under one of the lowest prices in the whole entire county. And that's exactly how,
10%?
no, I was like $10 under the lowest price of a house in the county for that bedrooms and baths.
Okay.
And so that's how I marketed it. I'm like, this is the lowest this is the lowest house in the county. You have to come see it. It's an amazing opportunity.
Okay.
Why would you not be there?
Uh,
And
what transpired? What did you guys end up selling it for, and how many?
yeah.
offers?
So I had about 45 people come to the open house. I only had an open house for 3.5 hours. So it wasn't a super long day, but I had 45 people come to the open house. We had an additional, because it was a vacant property, I allowed showings before the open house and after. So we had a total of about 56 showings altogether. And then we started at 300,000 or just under 300,000. And our final price was 336.
Okay.
So, and we had multiple offers. We had a backup offer. So the nice thing too is that when we went through inspection, there was a couple of things that they found. We ended up, there was termite so they had to treat that. We have to do that in Tennessee. The sellers are required to do the termite treatment. But there was like a couple other somewhat significant things. And I just said, hey, they're just not going to be willing to do any of that. We have a backup offer. And they were like, that's fine. We understand. We already got the great deal on this house. I mean, and that's kind of the whole point when the buyers are there and bidding, they're like, I already went through this bidding process and I won and I'm not going to give that up.
Right. Right.
So yeah, we paid the $895 for termite and that was the only repairs that they had. And then it was simple after that. Very, of course, appraised, no problem. And yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it makes sense to me that if you get 100 people or 50 people in and you get
Mhm.
5 or 10 offers, you're going to find fair market value or more.
Right.
Like
Yes.
there's just no doubt in my mind that, and it, who cares what the list price is? It's what it ends up selling it for that
Right.
it's important, right?
Yeah. And again, so that's the same thing. That was exactly what my sellers had said. They were like, well, I said, well, is this kind of what you were hoping for? And they were like, yeah, we were kind of hoping for somewhere around like 350, but we really didn't know if it would bring that. And I was like, we had over 100 people come through the house. They're telling us what it's worth in the condition that was, I mean, it wasn't in great condition. We had it show ready, but I mean, it was an older home. It had like linoleum in the kitchen. So this was not like high, I mean, it was older bathrooms and older tile. And so I'm like, for what the house is, this is absolutely fair market value. And they're like, no, I think you're right. I absolutely agree with that. So, and they were very happy, very.
Hey,
Yeah.
Joy, what did we work out with Michael's Graham?
We're in the middle of it, Robert. I brought it to the group and I've gotten some good insight so far. So thanks for jumping in.
So tell me what the insight. Sorry, you guys, for missing half of this. We got a little catastrophe going here that I have to take care of, and not getting a lot of help getting it taken care of. So couldn't sit and listen in.
No worries.
What did you like that you heard so far?
So I'll give you the recap. The listing that I have has been on the market for 40 days, hasn't gotten an offer. My seller's in commercial real estate line believes that we can do the auction successfully. And so now we're just trying to combat the couple of things that are deterrents, which is the solar debt of 50,000 that needs to be taken on, and then it's on a busy street. And so we're just talking about how do we make that successful. I did take it temporarily off the market. I didn't cancel it completely because the days on market will not reset anyway. And when we bring it back to market, the pitch to the public will just be, the seller has to sell in the next couple weeks, and that's why we've dropped the price. We're selling it to the best offer that we get. That's why we're having this event.
So what's your resolution for taking care of the solar?
I liked your idea of making the buyer's premium either 6% or 7% and doing either all of that or half of that to pay off half the solar and then using the other portion for their buyer broker. And if there's no buyer broker, then the whole thing goes to pay off, the majority of that solar. I think that would be very attractive. And then the seller's willing to pay my portion of the commission, which I'll end up charging him either 3% or 2.5%. I took his listing as a friend and a partner at 1%, just doing a traditional listing. And, and it obviously we haven't gotten anything. So I've already told him, I said, hey, if I run an event and do all this, I'm going to charge you a full commission. And he's fine to pay that.
So does everybody understand that the power of the buyer's premium? 100% negotiable anytime through the transaction, right? When you've got something that's outdated, outpriced, out this and that, the beauty of the buyer's premium is what? That they can actually take that amount, plug it into their, the price of the home and not have to have separate contracts. The other thing on this that Michael had said that even if he can get the buyer to cover half, this guy would cover half. So nobody's got to come up with cash out of the pocket if we do this the right way, right?
No.
We just use it for the proceeds and pay it off. Now, a buyer may say, you know what, no big deal, no harm, no foul. I don't want to put that into my mortgage. I'll just pay it off. He may say, you know what, let's take this thing up a notch. Let me run in both sides of it, have the seller give back half his commission so I can finish doing some work on the house. All these things with buyer's premium, you've got to start thinking and compartmentalizing. because all of this stuff can happen anytime, anywhere, anything. And especially as you guys start dealing with investors, it's wonderful to have a protection mechanism for them. It's wonderful to have where we can negotiate anything that we want by using the buyer's premium. Okay, so we got to keep that first and foremost. So yeah, and if you need help with that, Michael, the one thing, did you warn your seller about getting 5,000 calls from because you took it temporarily off market? Every agent in the world's going to be calling him.
I don't think he'll get calls because I took it off temporarily off market. Our setting is great because it's still my listing, right? Nobody's going to give
Okay.
it. So
Yeah, well,
temporarily off market, still my listing. When it goes back on, it'll be, you know, the same amount of days on market, all that kind of stuff. It'll just be, you know, us shocking the system, which I'm thinking, you know, 20% below what I think fair market value is, which it's at 739. Fair market value's got to be under 700, maybe 675. If I take 675 times 20%, it's about 130 some odd thousand. So I'm thinking of bringing it to either 575 or 550.
okay.
Can I go too low? Is there a
Well, you just want to make sure that you get. I would keep it higher than lower because of the the buyer's premium, but you got to make sure you get the buyers in there, so at least you can talk to people about how to it is right now is the biggest objection the street or the solar? Are they both
I
equal?
I think it's the street, you know, but because that's the first thing that you notice on the property, right? But then once you dive into it, like, oh, this could be a property for me, then you find out that it's got $50,000 worth of solar debt. Then you have to wrap your mind around how much value that has for you as a buyer. And, you know, some of them may think it has a value, some of them don't. I think if you pay half of that off, it's going to be a good value because it's at a 2.9% interest rate and it's fully assumable and it does bring the energy bill down. So, you know, I think we're in the right direction on doing the split, you know, fee between the buyer premium and the seller paying the listing commission.
Very good. Sounds like everybody did a good job. Hey, Sonny, before I get into your situation, have we gone over Sonny's situation as well?
Not yet.
Okay, cool. Before I get into that, hey, one of the things that we've got new agents that are putting stuff on the site this last weekend, and one of the things that you guys got to remember when you're putting something onto the site, when I go through my story, and I'm going to start asking questions on this, when you're doing your listing presentation or you understand the processes, what is the most important processes that you need to keep in the back of your mind when you launch that listing on Thursday, when you do your open house on Saturday, and then quit putting Mondays down and use the Tuesday, use that extra day for financing. You guys are cutting yourself short that are cutting it off, but what should you be thinking about when you are listing that property? And just start throwing out stuff. In fact, here, Ace, what should you be thinking about when you list property?
Like having it priced 6 to 10%, or in some markets 20% below what the market
Very good.
value is.
Most important thing, right?
Mhm.
Joya, what's another thing they should be thinking about?
Absolutely. I mean, you need to be able to have your marketing set for that. So again, make sure that the house is show ready, make sure that it's going to show well, and make sure that you have that excitement in place. Again, we're building up for that big event. So we have to have all those pieces in place to, again, when it hits the market, it's got to hit the market with a bang.
Shane, what's another important factor when you're listing a home? What's important for you to do while you're listing a home? Everything that you need to do before the closing time.
So
What's another important thing?
Shane's new, so he may not know.
Okay.
But that's okay.
How about if I go to Michael Graham then? We'll leave Shane. Won't pick on you yet, Shane. Michael Graham, what's another important thing?
Hey, I'm new too, man. I'm drawing a blank because I didn't think you were going to call on me. Pricing it really aggressively, I think that's the most important thing. Like if
Okay.
you miss the mark on that, then it's going to be weak. I think you have to be fully committed.
Okay.
And yeah, the marketing, the time, the urgency. Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Okay, Sonny?
To me, it's trying to get 100 buyers in the door because of the math.
Getting closer. Good job, Cynthia. Queen Cynthia.
Oh, the pressure. Well, okay, Robert. I'm gonna say for me, what comes up are the estimates, the seller's estimates showing the traditional and the easy platform pricing.
Perfect.
For me.
Greg?
Well, I think there's a few. One of the listings.
Just one.
Well, one of the listings we had over this weekend, which I think was an error, was only uploading 2 pictures. I'm pretty sure that's
Ooh.
not a good idea.
Professional photography. That's great. Mikkel?
You got to have the team to manage the event. Got to have 1 to 2 mortgage brokers and 3 to 5 agents.
Ooh, getting even closer. Love it. John King.
Well, I'm new and I'm just listening to all you guys.
Okay. Hang on.
That's what I'm on there for, to get some techniques, because I gotta listen. I just listen. I got a couple of things. So I'm listening on how to do it.
All right. Well, how about Kenneth Collins?
Oh, yes. I was going to say with a couple, I'm going to tie in with what Joy said, and that's the lead up. Making sure that you drive the area, make sure where you're going to locate your signs, your flags, your promotion to the house leading up to that open house, and that you design it so it's almost like a drive-through park, get out, and you got to have someone out there, because if it's anything like Alton said on his house, he literally had to have someone out there kind of like directing traffic because he got so many people in there on that. I think it's 4 or 5 hours, he said, that it surprised him. And so that's what I'm looking to do. So with
we don't need that kind of shocking the system, right? Overwhelmed with how many people show up at the open house. Shondell.
You don't want to shock the system?
We don't need that kind of shocking the system where we're not prepared for the open house. So.
Oh, I heard that.
Okay, Sean, thanks, Kenneth. Shondell?
Yes. Hi, I'm here.
Another important thing.
The pricing.
Okay, I already got the pricing. You have anything else? Okay, Samantha, Burnett, thanks, Shondell. There's one important thing that we're all forgetting.
Can I
have one?
Can I add something?
Sure, Ronald, go ahead.
Is all of your buyers, are they supposed to be registered?
That goes with that.
I would say this is my suggestion. You've got to talk to people. Put the details in your remarks. Don't shy away from this being an easy listing. Be comfortable explaining what it is when you're having your open house. Whether you're just doing the 3 hours open to the public, or you're following what Robert does, where he does 6 hours and has the neighbors come out beforehand, you should be explaining to everybody that, this is an online offer event. Everything's visible. There's no more guessing games, whether you're trying to sell your house and do true price discovery, or you're a buyer trying to make an offer. You've got to follow up with some of the buyer's agents. If you're not speaking to them, having a long conversation with them face to face during the open house, make sure you have somebody there that can explain this to them. Like Mikkel said, and like we had with our workshop with Dave Elkins last week, get a strong lender that's willing to qualify buyers and get them registered on the spot. Have your forms ready to explain the details. Follow up, encourage them to, my seller's going to be watching this. My seller's excited. This is only a few days. This is closing up Monday night or Tuesday night. Don't wait. Come in and go register for the site and put your offer in, because that seller could take the first one that they see. Because think about how excited your seller's going to be that they get an offer at all, right? When the average, it shifts, but the average amount of offers nationwide that a property gets is usually somewhere between 1.5 to 2.5 offers total. So most sellers are going to be excited to get an offer in general at the starting price that they're starting with. And they know they don't need to pay the commission. So encourage everyone you speak with. Don't wait.
So you got at the open house. What is my goal at the open house?
Get an offer at the open
one
house.
offer before you walk out of there.
It can be low. It can be a low offer.
Well, but if you know, when I'm sitting here talking to the agents, the buyers, I specifically don't come in. You already know this thing's 10, 15% below market value, 20% below market value. Don't come in at market value. Talk to your buyer. You know, or if you're talking to the buyer, go think about it. What's something you feel comfortable with making that offer? And in my story, the starlet, her buyers got pre-qualified by my lenders. They left for a half hour. They came back. I helped them register on the site and let them throw on the first offer. Does everybody remember what that first offer was?
410.
$410,000, $10,000 above market value on the first one. And why do you encourage them to do it? Because my seller is watching the site 7/24. When something hits their numbers, they can stop everything and take your offer. We had a lady fill out a form on Sunday, and she's going to be making an offer on the home in Minnesota. And she actually wants to become an agent to use the.
She already did.
What's that?
She already placed her offer.
Did she place it above market value?
She put him in right at the listing, at the suggested offer, just to get it
So,
started, to see where it's going. But
if-
she's watching it and she'll increase it.
If you're doing that stuff, you guys, getting that first offer on the site eases the emotion one way, but starts it another way. All of a sudden, somebody said, okay, this is a great way to do this. I love the transparency. I love everything. But the idea of, so she didn't follow my direction, but at least she put an offer in on the site. So if the seller is, if we're not doing our job and we're not telling people at the open house to go ahead and place an offer, like my objective at the open house, get somebody to come in and get registered and put an offer on right away. Because it eases everything in the playing field, even though it's much simpler since the NAR settlement down there. But you've got to be so proactive about this thing. And listen, hey, this is the way the seller wants it. He wants it to be 100. After all the NAR crap, he doesn't want to be accused of hiding anything from anybody. And this is the only platform in the world that you can do that. It's much easier to explain nowadays than it's ever been in our lifetime. But yet you got to get somebody to throw. Joy, let me just finish one more thing before I turn it back over. But if people are going to wait till 5 o'clock to start making offers on the property, what do you think is going to happen?
Tech issues, don't know how to create an account, can't submit their documents. They miss getting the bid in before the offer ends.
Michelle's going to go crazy trying to help everybody all at the same time in those last few minutes.
So do yourselves a favor and follow all these trainings and all these things. I mean, I have said 1,000 times that pricing the home is right, being prepared for the open house is right, getting somebody to make that first offer is right. And these are the things you guys got to think of. Again, a good real estate agent does these things anyways, regardless of the platform. We want to make sure we're ahead of the competition, that we're ahead of, you know, our fellow agents, this and that. And, you know, so it's important that you guys get that stuff going. And, you know, let's face it, you know, maybe they can't even get a pre-qual from their bank. That's another reason it ended on Tuesday. Because bankers come back in on Monday, they're getting caught up Saturday and Sunday, and a lot of times they can't even get on. So Joy, did you have something you want to add on to that?
Oh, I was starting to speak. I think you thought I was Joy. But exactly what Robert's saying. But remember, this platform benefits everybody, but tweak your language so it's digestible to the person that you're speaking to. So I think the biggest imposter syndrome I see here is as EZ listing specialists, you guys always seem afraid to talk to buyers about the benefits of using this platform. What does a buyer want? A buyer wants to get their offer accepted. So just as we're sitting here saying, you know, the seller's sitting here ready, they're looking at offers, they could accept it right now. The outcome, the hero journey for the buyer is they put their offer through and it could be accepted today. It could be accepted in minutes. So we understand that conceptually, but you have to put that into your conversation when you're explaining things to the buyer, so that way they can feel their outcome and understand why it's so important for them to, you know, right here, right now, scan this QR code. It's going to take you to the listing. Since you don't have an account yet, it's going to make you create a username and password. Just do that right now. If you have your own lender, there's going to be a button where you can upload your pre-qual letter right there. And 15 minutes or so, our team's going to look at that and give you your offer capacity. If you need it, if you have any questions while you're here, make sure you ask us. We'll walk you through it. If you don't have a lender, look, this table right here. Even if you don't buy this property, this team, our lenders right here, can help you whatever home you decide is the one that you want to buy, right? So make everything about that buyer's journey, because what happens with the transparency, you have a better chance than ever, without any violations of your fiduciary duty, to double side that transaction. And maybe that buyer needs to sell a property as well, and maybe they want to sell it the same way. So don't look at the buyers at your open house, who most will be unrepresented because it's open to the public. Don't look at them as outsiders and others. And, you know, I forget that this is good for buyers too, but I know it's good for my seller because the seller's saving on commissions. Don't squirm and be uneasy about speaking to the buyer. Those buyers will be evangelists. In fact, I'm going to link into the chat. There is a video, Quinn Greenlee, he's not on the call today, but his very first listing with EZ. Not only did he get a video testimonial from the sellers, which, raise your hand if you think it's a pain in the butt to get your seller clients to leave you a review. Like, we all know that you have to chase them down and maybe they'll write you 5 words in response to an email. He got a video testimonial, 10 minutes from his sellers, and then another 8 minutes from his buyers who were unrepresented and were comfortable working with him. They said, we've bought plenty of houses before. This is the first time we've ever done it this way. And we decided we didn't need an agent because of the platform transparency. And we knew we were not going to lose this house. So we raised our cash offer to beat the highest offer. Buyers are excited about this. And you have to match your body language when you're speaking with buyers at your open house to keep them excited. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. If you guys think it's worth doing a role play, you know, maybe next Monday we can do some buyer objection conversation role playing together to shake that. I think that's the number one queasy feeling I see from you guys, is you guys are afraid to tell buyers why this is good for them.
I think
Buyers just want their offer accepted.
the role play part. I think that's genius. If
So
you
there you go, Robert.
Thanks, Kat.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah,
actually be
she
happy to do that.
articulates well. Sonny, let's get into your deal. What happened?
Yeah, I had a listing similar to Michael has a listing, but it was coming up to the expiration date. And then that week right before, I found you guys and I got myself, you know, through the academy and everything and the courses. So now I'm a EZ specialist, and which is awesome. But I went back to my seller. I'm just like, look, I know this is coming up to an end here. What are your thoughts moving forward? I just kind of heard from him, and he's just talking about like, man, it's more timing than anything for me, because I want to use the money for that so I can get my next deal going. And he's got a couple other properties. He's an investor. The house is in pretty good, you know, order. It's got tenants living in it now who will have 30 days to vacate once an offer gets accepted. So I was just like, okay, that's awesome. But you're gonna basically sell this yourself, right? And just give somebody 2%. He's like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, well, check out this. I have another solution for you. I want to tell you about it. And so I explained everything to him as best as I could, you know, new agent and everything. And he's on board. He's like, okay. He sat with it for a day, and Joy helped me get some other properties that she's done and that have done the EZ listing platform to see the results. And I sent that over to him. He's like, listen, I want to do this. Let's get this going this week. So we're on board, and he's going to sign another listing agreement. The listing expired on Saturday. So we're going to relist it. It was at 293 last time we left. That's about the fair market value, is about 290, maybe even 285, something like that. So I said, let's go more toward the 20% side. So we're going to do 229 to start out with, unless you have other suggestions. But I told him, you know, it's a 3-bed, 1 bath. So it's going to be popular. It's not as popular as like a 3-bed, 2 bath. That would be like that'd be like the biggest buy box of people, which will drive the most traffic. But I said, My goal is to get as many people there. Our goal is always 100. We'll see what happens with your house, but let's at least try this. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but then you can do whatever you want. But let's give this a go. And he was like, I'm all on board for this. Let's do it. So that's what I'm looking for right now, is to host an open house this weekend. So yeah. And there's another seller as well that wants to do this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, any input for Sonny from everybody?
Be successful, Sonny, so that you give me confidence in being successful on mine too.
You got it, man. At least we don't have solar panels.
Awesome, yeah, exactly.
So when are you putting it back on the market?
I was going to do it on Thursday.
Okay.
And with closing the deal, or closing the bidding by Tuesday.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about your marketing to do that. How are you going to remarket it? And tell me a little bit about, like, I know I've seen the professional pictures, and how I'm assuming the renters have it still in good condition, and then it'll be in good condition for that open house on Saturday.
Yes, and the condition is pretty good still. There are some like walls that will need like touch up paint, where like there's like something like one of the toilet things that was screwed in is off the wall, and there's a hole that needs to be plastered and stuff. My seller is, he owns his own construction company though, so I need to also be transparent and let the buyer know that he's going to fix all this. Right now there's tenants in there right now, so basically he's going to say at the end of this, he's going to treat it just like a blue tape walkthrough. Whatever you need, we're gonna patch holes, we're gonna repaint, if there's anything in the flooring, there's a little gap in one of the vinyl planks, he's gonna just fix all that stuff. So I do want to be transparent with everybody when I do that. But yeah, what did I answer your question? Or you're asking me about the marketing? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to call you earlier about today, because I want to market this well. I wanted to ask about how many signs you think I need. It's in a neighborhood. And then where do I get, like, what's the best signage to use? And then the last thing I was going to say was, I do have a lender that's the preferred lender, but he's not really interested in doing this until, sorry, I had a call. He's not interested in doing this until he sees the first one done, because he's felt like open houses have been a waste of his time in the past. But that's because he's going to open houses that are priced, at market value or above. So I need to find a lender that's also like ready to go and wants to do this.
Perfect. Yeah. Or does he have any kind of app? Or how does he do pre-approvals for his clients?
he has an app. Yeah, he'll send a link after I introduce the client to him. He'll send a link, and the client will like pre-approve them on the spot there. He'll do that. But like Shane said, he may not be my preferred lender. Yeah.
I was going to say, if they don't want to sign up and they play ball on this first one, if they don't understand what the value of, Ace, we'll see ya. They don't understand the value of what 100 people at an open house can do.
Yeah.
Then that's not the right agent. We can have Dave reach out to you. He's our preferred lender. He's FDIC. He'll have somebody in Nashville, I'm sure, that'll come out and help you.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. And then the team is the other thing. I'm trying to figure out what to do with. You said it's good to have like 3 or 4 agents there as well. Somebody said
Yeah.
that.
So how many people do you anticipate getting at 229?
For a 3-bed, 1-bath, I was thinking closer to 50 to 60.
Enjoy. What did you have at yours on your home?
Yes, that's what I had. I had 45. So it was vacant. So that's a little different, because I had 45 people show up to the open house, but we also had 56 showings as well. So I don't know, that's what I was going to ask. Is there going to be a period of time where they'll be able to allow showings? Because you'll have people that are interested in, and so that might be a little bit of a navigation that you'll have to work through.
Yeah, that's something I'll have to work through, honestly. They like 2 hours ahead of time, advance notice. But obviously during the open house, I would say this Saturday, do something else, go somewhere, have some fun, because we want to use your house. We want to use the house to maximize, the walkthroughs. So
So 45 or 50 people, probably a couple of you can get away with that.
Quick question for Sunny. Sorry, is it
No.
furnished or unfurnished, Sunny?
It's furnished right now. I mean,
Okay.
it's all the tenant stuff. They're going to be taking it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, mine's unfurnished, and I'm actually considering getting it staged because it just is going to look way better for an event stage. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Okay, Joy,
And
thanks,
I can help you with that too if you need. I don't know, but you can do staging very, very simply, and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. You really just need like master or primary bedroom, bed and 2 nightstands, some sort of living area, and then maybe even kitchen, and then some small like niceties around. So it doesn't have to be huge. I don't know if that's something, and I can help you walk through it if that's something you feel like you can get the furniture and stuff to do, or find a stager who would. And again, if this is about partnering too, you need to be able to partner with companies, your mortgage provider, find a stager that's going to be willing to provide discounted services for that, or again, because again, you're getting maximum exposure here.
Right.
So you're gonna not only have 100 people walking through buyers, but you'll have agents too. So be like, hey, look, if you're gonna give me a little bit of a discount here, so that and I'm happy to have your information, a signage there, QR code, whatever you want. This is advertising for you too. So
Perfect.
building
thank
those
you.
network clients. I mean, again, it's a team that you can put together that just gets
I
these
may
done.
reach out to you, Joy, separately. Can you put your number in the
Yeah,
group chat? Maybe?
absolutely.
Thank you.
So what do you guys think about like the neighborhood and like open house signs, and also getting the neighborhood involved to show up before the MLS access, like everybody?
Yeah, I'd highly recommend you go out if you're going to go walk the neighborhood on Wednesday.
On a
Before
Wednesday.
the first 2 hours is going to be for them. Generally, I have a little bit of food and water with them. I
Okay.
have something I raffle off.
Yeah.
God, I should call. I still got 15 of these things. I could start sending them to you guys that are doing open houses. And I'll make sure they're still good. But you have my phone number, right, Sonny?
Know how to get your phone number. I don't have it in there yet, but I will.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll copy it.
Yeah, you guys, everybody should have my phone number. There you
All
go.
right.
But
Perfect.
we're bucking up against our hour, and appreciate you guys so much. Thursday we have an interim financing guy. Any of your REI guys that are doing wholesaling and doing real estate investments, invite them to be on that call on Thursday. You might be shocked what this guy comes up with by using the buyer's premium. It's going to be one of the coolest ones that we have. And then the following week, it's going to be a hard money lender. I've got a lender that's trying to do a joint venture with us where he'll give your fix and flip guys a 9.99 interest rate in this economy. So that'll be the week not this Thursday, but following week from there. So we'll keep pressing on, making this thing better and better and better and better. Appreciate everybody's input. Remember, you guys, 2 words we never use in marketing and in using the platform. Anybody know those 2 words?
Auction.
Auction 1. What's the other one?
Free.
Sunny got free.
Free.
Free for look at that. We got a bunch of here.
Greg has 2 different ones in there.
Oh.
Quit and fail.
Greg, yes. That's
No
Kool-Aid
lead left
man for ya.
behind.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to practice their listing presentation, I'm going to be hosting a Zoom tomorrow. We're going to try to keep each one to 30 minutes. So look out for that. It's going to be in the Facebook group.
Yeah, so the event that Mikkel created is already in the Facebook group. So this is why I said you got to talk to your buyers. You should be following up with buyers agents as well. They leave, they go to a bunch of other open houses, they look at things, they forget to enroll. You got to do your follow-up as an agent, whether there's a platform here for you to use or not. But just like Mikkel saying, hey, there's this thing tomorrow. Don't tell yourself right now, I want to do that. I'm going to go remember to do that tomorrow. Go to the Facebook group right now and mark attending. Put it on your calendar and show up. Because if you don't do it now, you'll probably forget.
All right, so one more thing before we hang up. Joy, Greg, Michelle, and Kat, can you guys go to my personal Zoom for about
Yeah.
5 minutes after this?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Have a very wonderful week. And looking forward to success with you. Have some fun with this thing, right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Thank you.